Nigerians, see, listen. Only the wise come forward, come forward, come forward. Better day for una. When they talk every day say, Nigerians, una not get democracy. Hey God. And they let me know now say, ever since they come into today, say Nigerians, no freedom, oh, no democracy. Okay, show me where the democracy dey. See, after this video, you go know say they've been lying to us. Even for that school where we dey go sef, they've been lying to us. I've never said school is a bad thing. Neither have I said school na scam. School not be scam. Go to school, get your degree, get your awareness, be brilliant, be intelligent, but use your number 6. Because majority of those things we were told in school, they are all lies. There is no democracy anywhere. There is no freedom anywhere. We are still under the captivity of the British. The British still they rule us. The UK still they rule us. The English still they rule us. Queen Elizabeth, see the things that be, see where the things that be. When the British use rope tie our neck, the one would not complain, say the thing too much, the too tight, those harsh treatment they were giving to our fathers in those days. As the world is revolving and taking a revolution, a new face, a new dimension, then they quickly understand that this metric will not work. So they introduce a new metric to us by slacking the rope a little bit. That is when they now appoint our own person to become president, head of state, governor generals. But it doesn't really mean that we are free. It is an appointment. An appointment is different from a total transfer of power. Nigerians, they tell us say we get independence, abi? Now what? Listen to what Nnamdi Azikiwe said on the day of his installment. Listen to what he said. Just watch. Yeah, first.
And now it is the 16th of November, Dr. Azikwe's 56th birthday and the day of his installation as Governor General of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of her armed forces. Chief Awolowo is among the many who have come from all parts of the Federation to honor Zeke on this day of days. There's Alhaji Sir Amadou Bello, Sardauna of Sokoto. Premiers, federal ministers and high government officials come to take their places in the specially constructed pavilion. At each arrival, a thrill stirs the crowd, for these are the men who now control the destiny of Nigeria. There is, of course, a particular welcome for Alhaji Abubakar, to whom, in his office as Prime Minister, fell the responsibility of recommending to Her Majesty the Queen the appointment of Dr. Azikwe. The next to arrive is Adetokunbo Ademola, Lord Chief Justice of the Federation, who will administer the oath of allegiance. And as the cries of Zeke, Zeke ring around Tafawa Balewa Square, the man himself arrives. At the steps of the pavilion stand the Prime Minister and the Lord Chief Justice, symbolizing the people and the law, on what is surely one of the most important occasions in the history of the country. Dr. Azikwe, the man who is in the forefront of Nigeria's march to independence, has seen his dreams come true. Now he is to receive a just and perhaps once unexpected reward for his labors. The vast crowds which fill the stands are hushed. The ceremony is about to begin, and the Chief Registrar of the Federal Supreme Court reads the commission under the royal sign, manual and signet to which Her Majesty's signature is subscribed.
We do by this our commission under our sign, manual and signet appoint you, the said Nnamdi Azikiwe, to be during our pleasure our Governor General and Commander-in-Chief of the Federation of Nigeria, with all the powers, rights, privileges appertaining.
The oath of allegiance follows.
I, Nnamdi Azikiwe, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. I, Nnamdi Azikiwe, do swear that I will well and truly serve Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors in the office of Governor General of the Federation of Nigeria. So help me God.
By this simple ceremony, Dr. Azikiwe takes his place as the honored successor of the many distinguished men who have held this high office. He is now His Excellency the Governor General. But to the people of Nigeria, he will always be Zeke, the man who fought for freedom, the man who never deviated from the goal he had set himself, the peaceful achievement of independence. He moves to the steps of the pavilion to see his own personal standard broken for the first time.
Look at what he said. He said to be loyal and obedient to Queen Elizabeth II and her heirs. What does that tell you? These people, now watch. If you watch further in that video, you will see a place whereby it was not called a free democracy then. How will I put it? That is handling of power over to Nigerians to rule themselves. It was classified as an appointment. An appointment is different from handing over, total transfer of power. It is an appointment. She was a queen representative.
For the second time in less than 2 months, Nigeria is in the news. And this time, all the attention is focused on the Queen's personal representative in the Federation, His Excellency, the Governor General.
So the power wasn't given to Nigerians in total. It was only just been because by then she was called the Queen of Nigeria, and other states, other nations, countries she has also colonized. She's called the Queen of Nigeria, and other countries are also colonized. So the colonial master that handed power to us in the person of James Roberts.
November 1960, and a new flag flies over State House, the personal standard of the first Nigerian Governor-General of Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who has succeeded Sir James Robertson. Sir James had served Nigeria well. Throughout his stay in the Federation, he had the unfailing help and encouragement of his wife. On the eve of their departure, he said,
"We've had a very happy 5.5 years in Nigeria. We've been here in most historic times, and one of the nicest parts of it all, I think, is that the transfer and transition from colonial status to the independence of a sovereign state has happened also very smoothly and happily. When one reads in the newspapers about other countries, one is inclined to be really quite proud to have been in Nigeria at this time. Of course, the main reason for the success has been the common sense and good sense of the Nigerian leaders and the ministers. But we hope that we also have perhaps contributed something to it, and the Nigerian leaders themselves have been very, very kind to us and have obviously sincerely meant what they said, that we have helped towards the fruition of their dreams. Only yesterday we were given this most beautiful gold flower bowl by the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers on behalf of the people of the Federation of Nigeria. And it seems to me that they couldn't have been kinder to us than they have been. Now we're going off on Tuesday on the mail boat, and we'll be getting back to England in about a fortnight's time. This will be the conclusion of some 38 years of service overseas for me, and 34 years for my wife.
No, 32 only.
32 for my wife. So we really have had quite a long spell abroad.
James Roberts handed power to us on November 1960. It was not a total handling of power. It was an appointment from the Queen. Now, the Queen Elizabeth was the Queen Elizabeth was ruling Nigeria via the British colonial masters in the person of Sir Lord Frederick Lugard, the man that amalgamated Nigeria in the year 1914. In the person of Sir Clifford, in the person of James Roberts, and so on and so forth. So, when the war and the fights began, the Queen was so intelligent enough to understand that, okay, if I pass this power to these people by themselves, they will be ruling themselves, but under my jurisdiction, under my leadership. So what our leaders are doing, there is no democracy anywhere. Our leaders are all puppets. Yes, our leaders are all puppets. They are using it to manipulate us. Okay, now watch. Let me give you something to watch at. Something you must look into. Now, Tinubu knows fully well, say, Nigerians will never vote for him. Nigerians will never vote for him. So, but he needed the presidency seat by all means. Check where he go. He went to the United Kingdom to have a discussion with King Charles III. Oh, do you think all those things that were gazetted on the media were actually accurate or truth? They were never true. The Rikakus meeting, forget all those dining table where they eat together. They were talking of economic ties, trade fair, the two nations can do business together. All those things, they are just for the public fair hearing.
President Tinubu then ceremonially inspected the troops on display, with King Charles walking a few steps behind. After which they both retired, walking hand in hand into the castle to continue with other aspects of the state visit. State visits are a way of building relationships between international partners. President Tinubu's visit will see a strengthening of economic ties and more cultural and diplomatic partnerships. Amarachi Ubani, Channels Television News.
This is not Nigeria, no, they carry last. It is a very splendid moment. It is with the profound honor to stand before you today, representing the people of Nigeria as we reaffirm the enduring bonds of friendship, history, and shared purpose that have united our two nations for several centuries. Allow me first to express my sincere appreciation to Your Majesty and to Her Majesty, the Queen, for the warmth and generosity extended to me, my wife, Oluremi, and the Nigerian delegation. As the first Nigerian leader to speak here at Windsor Castle, which has served the British crown for nearly a millennium, it is particularly historic. Windsor has stood as a symbol of continuity, witnessing the steady evolution of institutions that have shaped governance, culture, and public life, not only in Britain, but far beyond these shores. Nigeria and United Kingdom have shared more than just history. Our two nations share a vision of progress and resilience. Today, we continue our journey, committed to building a future rooted in partnership, mutual respect, and common values. Standing here in Windsor Castle, one cannot but help reflect on British impact on modern democratic governance worldwide. We remember the Magna Carta of 1215, which laid the early foundation for the rule of law and the development of parliamentary democracy, establishing enduring ideals around liberty, accountable government, and civic responsibilities. Great Britain thinkers and writers such as Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Edmund Burke helped to propagate those democratic ideals. This influence continues to resonate till this date. The literary genius of William Shakespeare and other writers such as Charles Dickens has enriched and shaped the English language spoken by over 1.7 billion people worldwide. In Nigeria, element of this tradition continues to inform the institutional foundation of our own republic. Our court draws upon legal tradition rooted in English common law. Our parliamentary institution reflects constitutional practices that evolved here over centuries. Our civil service structure have also drawn upon administrative models developed in Britain and adapted to Nigeria's own national context. While institutions matter greatly, Your Majesty, our people remain the strongest bridge between our two countries. The Nigerian community in United Kingdom has become one of the most dynamic diaspora communities worldwide. Nigerians continue to contribute enormously to the vitality both here in England and in Nigeria. Within the National Health Service, Nigerian doctors and nurses play an indispensable role in delivering health care. Nigerian trained doctors are among the largest group of international medical professionals serving the NHS. Rugby players such as Mario Tuje, footballers including Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, and champion boxer Anthony Joshua illustrate the remarkable human connection that links Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Our partnership is further strengthened through the Commonwealth of Nations, which connects 56 countries under Your Majesty's leadership. Thank you very much for all you've been doing for us. We discussed at length earlier on today the essence of bringing over 2.7 billion people together and removing trade barriers. As one of the largest nations within the Commonwealth, Nigeria look forward to contributing constructively to the continued growth and vitality of this global community. However, our West African region faces complex terrorism challenges with roots in Sahel. Nigeria comes with an enormous responsibility to help safeguard regional stability. In confronting these threats, partnership with the United Kingdom remains essential, and I look forward to meeting with Prime Minister Keir Starmer tomorrow. Despite these challenges, Nigeria approaches the future with hope and confidence. We are a nation of diverse and vibrant people, of young people dreaming big, of entrepreneurs with a global outlook, and a hopeful people determined to realize their full potential, as I promised. Your Majesty, I am confident that the friendship between Nigeria and United Kingdom will continue to grow stronger and better beyond jollof rice. Finally, Your Majesty, I want to express Nigeria's deep gratitude to the great nation, this great nation, for the refuge and support extended during the dark years of military dictatorship. Like many Nigerians involved in pro-democracy struggle, I find safety here, and I recall that my residence was placed under Metropolitan Police surveillance for protection following threats from agents of the junta. I thank you very much once again. That solidarity remains etched in our collective memory, and it is deeply humbling for me to stand here before you, Your Majesty, today as the President of Democratic Nigeria. On behalf of the government and the good people of Nigeria, I thank Your Majesty, Her Majesty the Queen, Prince William and Catherine, and Princess of Wales, other members of royal family, and the people of the United Kingdom for their long-standing friendship. Nigeria will not carry last. Your Majesty, Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of that friendship and our shared destiny, I invite you all to raise a glass with me. To the special bond between Nigeria and United Kingdom, and to the bright future that we shall build together. God bless His Majesty, the King. God bless Nigeria. God bless United Kingdom. And thank you very much.
The real thing, when they don't lock themselves for inner chamber finish, now then you call your president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, could they touch us? I want to become the president of Nigeria for 2027. So how is it going to be? Charles go to and say, no worry. The country, now we still get them. I will hand over the country to you, provided you dey give me my food, they chop. And they get my own share from the country money, from the country revenue, from the country resources. I am having my own share. So now business strategy, Tinubu and Charles go do for UK. Not be any other thing. Now what? He said to be loyal to the heirs and the queen. Meaning say it is not a generational wealth to the British. Nigeria is not a generational wealth to the British. Any person that attend and succeed the position of the previous king or queen will become the new leader of the Republic of Nigeria.
To be during our pleasure, our Governor General and Commander-in-Chief of the Federation of Nigeria, with all the powers, rights, privileges appertaining.
The oath of allegiance follows.
I, Nnamdi Azikiwe, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. I, Nnamdi Azikiwe, do swear that I will well and truly serve Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, in the office of Governor General of the Federation of Nigeria. So help me God.
By this simple ceremony, Dr. Azikiwe takes his place as the honored successor of the many distinguished men who have held this high office. He is now His Excellency the Governor General. But to the people of Nigeria, he will always be Zeke, the man who fought for freedom, the man who never deviated from the goal he had set himself, the peaceful achievement of independence.
There is no democracy anywhere. We are still under the colonial masters. Now slack, they just slack root for us. Okay, then they talk of saying we are working together. We are this, we are that. Ordinary Commonwealth nation that we, Nigeria, belongs to. What is our benefit in the Commonwealth nation? You say the Commonwealth nation is a slack something, it is free, it is this, it is that. What is our benefit? Okay, let me not go too much about the Commonwealth. Let me leave that.
It is on this day, too, that he hears of yet another honor, his appointment to the Privy Council by Her Majesty the Queen.
It is with humility, mingled with joy, that I thank this grand concourse of patriots and friends of Nigeria for congregating here today on the occasion of my inauguration as the first African Governor General and Commander-in-Chief of the Federation of Nigeria. I was appointed to this post of high honor by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the advice of the Prime Minister of Nigeria to succeed my predecessor in office, that accomplished colonial administrator, Sir James Robertson, GCMG, GCVO, KBE. This mighty audience comprises of eminent men and women drawn from all the regions of Nigeria and different parts of Africa, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. We have in this august assemblage representatives of heads of states and governments, paramount rulers and chieftains, statesmen and politicians, nationalists and freedom fighters, university administrators and professors, trade union leaders and ex-servicemen, local government heads and civil servants, molders of public opinion, in addition to professional men and women, in different walks of life, including a select group of invitees who represent various organizations which are interested in Africa and in the orderly progress of our country towards national autonomy. Whilst it is a fact that the Commonwealth is a voluntary association which is loose, flexible, and adaptable, and its members value it for its very variety and multiplicity of outlook, its member governments sometimes acting in unison, sometimes separately, but always freely exchanging views and information, and always adding something to a common pool of mutual understanding. Nevertheless, Nigerians cannot be expected to be supine when such a basic human right as respect for human dignity is violated with impunity in any part of the Commonwealth or in any part of the world. The challenge of Nigeria as a free state in 20th century Africa is the need to revive the stature of man in Africa and restore the dignity of man in the world. Nigerians believe passionately in the fundamental human rights. We regard all races of the human family as equal. Under no circumstance shall we accept the idea that the black race is inferior to any other race. I call upon Alhaji Amadou Bello, the Sultan of Sokoto, to join us in this Herculean task of national reconstruction. I exhort Chief Obafemi Awolowo to associate with us, in this great adventure of restoring the dignity of man in the world. There are many leaders who can give active support and assistance to a nation at its supreme hour of need. Chief Samuel Ladoke Akintola, Dr. Michael Ihanukara Opara, and Samuel Grace Ikoku, and then Chief Dennis Chukude Osarebe, Malam Aminu Kanu, Malam Ibrahim Imam, and J.S. Taka of northern Nigeria, and countless others. I appeal to all our leaders, far and near, to forget the wounds which were inflicted in cause of our internecine altercations. The love of our country should outweigh the love of our petty selves. The enjoyment of individual freedom under the law should mean more to us than our self-centered party programs and manifestos. Common dangers and common enemies alert us on the need for common security. The British came here in 1851, and found us hopelessly divided in tribal compartments. When Britain transferred power to us on 1st October 1960, we were no longer an expression of geography, but a reality of history. During all our years of political vassalage, we became socially and economically integrated. We have also developed an identity of interest, and we have crystallized common nationality. The process of political integration reached its zenith at midnight on 30th September 1960, when we lastly sang our national anthem and our national flag was hoisted aloft to signal the birth of a new nation. Come and join Abubakar with me, Sadauna, Awolowo, Akitola, Osarebe, Okpara, Ikoku, Aminu Kano, Ibrahim Imam, and Tata. Let us bind the nation's wound and let us heal the breaches of the past so that in forging our nation, there shall emerge on this continent a hate-free, fear-free, and greed-free people who shall be in the vanguard of a world task force whose assignment is not only to revive the stature of man in Africa, but to restore the dignity of man in the world. The independence of Nigeria was doggedly fought and dearly won. During our protracted battles, some of our heroes and heroines fell by the wayside. Some went the way of all flesh. Some paid with their lives. Some were incarcerated. Some lost their jobs. Some sacrificed their fortunes. Some were ostracized, while some were victimized and made to suffer indignity because they dared to demand freedom for Nigeria in our lifetime. Therefore, we must jealously guard our freedom with our lives if need be. I have made up my mind to do all that lies in my power so that our newly won freedom shall endure. All that remains for us to do now is for our leaders and their followers to demonstrate that spiritual resilience which had enabled us to survive the onslaught of the past. With faith in the eventual success of our adventure in the Committee of Nations, we can look forward to the morrow with hope and charity for our fellow man, knowing that the task has been well done and that prospects of a future are bright.
The inaugural speech had made a deep impression on all who heard it by its simple, straightforward appeal. The occasion ends with a march past by the Army, the Navy, and the police. Next day, the ceremonies at Tafawa Balewa Square were to be reported in great detail by the world's press. For the second time in less than 2 months, Nigeria is in the news. And this time, all the attention is focused on the Queen's personal representative in the Federation, His Excellency, the Governor-General.
Our partnership is further strengthened through the Commonwealth of Nations, which connects 56 countries under Your Majesty's leadership.
Okay, let me not go too much on the Commonwealth, so it won't look as if I went too far. Let me draw myself back a bit because I'm still coming back there. Now watch, we and UK, they claim say we are doing together, right? We are working together, we are business partners, we are allies, right? Now watch, ordinary school fees to go and study in the UK as an international student or from Nigeria and from a Commonwealth nation as I am, go check them. How much is school fees? Okay, now UK now, Tinubu went to the United Kingdom, they gave you their protocols, their laws, their constitutions, you sign. But when you want to talk about Nigeria, look at the stupid things you talk about. Say they should be deporting us, giving us peaceful deportation. Those that are not that don't have papers, those that are not legal to stay in the UK, they should be deported.
Hello and welcome. Our top story is from Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu visited the UK this week. During his visit, the two countries announced a new partnership to speed up deportations to Nigeria. The deal will allow for visa overstayers and failed asylum seekers to be removed from Britain far more easily. At the centre of this deal are the UK letters. This is an alternative identity document issued to those without a valid passport. It is used to support the return of people with no right to remain in the UK. The Nigerian government has agreed to recognise the UK letters. This means that the British government will no longer have to wait for Nigeria to issue emergency travel documents if it is seeking to deport someone. The two countries have also agreed to launch joint operations and share information to crack down on criminal gangs abusing visa routes. The British government said that the move followed a series of high-profile cases involving fake job sponsorships, sham marriages, and forged financial or employment records. Nigeria has also vowed to review its laws to ensure that the toughest possible sentences are given to immigration offenders. While border security was high on the agenda, Tinubu's visit also focused on boosting economic ties between the two countries. Britain and Nigeria also announced a nearly $1 billion export finance deal to fund the redevelopment of two of Nigeria's main trading ports. This announcement was followed by a meeting between President Tinubu and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at Downing Street.
We have a lot of work that we already do on the economy, on defence and security, but today is the opportunity to take that to another level with the agreements that we've been able to reach on export and on business exchange, and I think that shows that our ambition is to go even further than we've already gone with our two countries.
And we need too much of the trade agreements, stimulate more economic relationship that will build our two nations.
Starmer hailed Tinubu's visit as historic. This is the first state visit by a Nigerian leader to the UK in nearly 40 years. But this visit came against the backdrop of suspected suicide bombings in Nigeria. At least 23 people were killed in the attacks, which took place just a day before Tinubu arrived in the UK. Tinubu referred to Nigeria's security crises during his meeting with Starmer as well. He said that the African nation is challenged by terrorism, and so is the entire world. Ahead of the meeting with Starmer, Tinubu and his wife were hosted by the royals at Windsor Castle. King Charles III also hosted a lavish state banquet for the Nigerian president. Britain and Nigeria remain major partners in trade, aid and defence. Nigeria is a former British colony, and London is home to a huge Nigerian diaspora. Meanwhile, Tinubu has been facing backlash for going ahead with the UK visit, despite the growing security concerns back at home. Critics have labelled his visit as insensitive, but the Nigerian government has defended the visit by saying that it is aimed at strengthening economic and defence ties with the UK. Tinubu's two-day state visit to the UK has concluded. Major agreements on migrant return and port development have been signed. These deals sound promising on paper. Now it remains to be seen how quickly these plans translate into action, and what would it mean for the future of the two countries.
Tinubu, is it wrong that with all this essence and influence we have towards the UK, you use that influence and essence to create an opportunity for ease movement to the UK? Is it wrong? Is it wrong? Tinubu, is it wrong? Go and look at the region. Go and look at the EU region, the European region, the Swiss region. You can see how migration is easy between all those nations. You can from one country cross another country in search of job without a visa, without even a work permit. You can leave your country, go to the other country, search for a job. When you can find a spend there for maybe 90 days or 30 days, 60 days. When you can find a sponsor that is going to sponsor your employment, then you sign and start working. Now, with all this influence we have with the UK, is it bad that you create an opportunity like that for us? But all you could say is deportation. That those that are illegal, that are not legally that are not supposed to reside in the UK, legally residing in the UK, they should be deported. They deport when they want to deport them back home. The home good, let me the wrong go to the UK. Tinubu, wait. The home when you say they deport they come, it's good. Let me the self-party take travel acts. Tinubu, why you wicked? Why you wicked? Now, Anitona, Queen Elizabeth is the beginning and the genesis for our problem. She is the beginning of our problem. I'm telling you now. Now, it says when Azikiwe was appointed as a governor general, the governor general of Nigeria, meaning the president, the head of state, he was acknowledged as the Queen's representative. In other words, he will be giving back accountability to the Queen.
It is on this day, too, that he hears of yet another honour, his appointment to the Privy Council by Her Majesty the Queen.
It is with humility, mingled with joy, that I thank this grand concourse of patriots and friends of Nigeria for congregating here today on the occasion of my inauguration as the first African Governor General and Commander-in-Chief of the Federation of Nigeria. I was appointed to this post of high honor by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the advice of the Prime Minister of Nigeria to succeed my predecessor in office, that accomplished colonial administrator Sir James Robertson, GCMG, GCVO, KBE.
For the second time in less than 2 months, Nigeria is in the news. And this time, all the attention is focused on the Queen's personal representative in the Federation, His Excellency, the Governor-General. The ceremony is about to begin, and the Chief Registrar of the Federal Supreme Court reads the commission under the Royal Sign, Manual and Signet, to which Her Majesty's signature is subscribed.
We do by this our commission under our sign, manual and signet, appoint you, the said Nnamdi Azikiwe, to be during our pleasure our Governor General and Commander-in-Chief of the Federation of Nigeria, with all the powers, rights, privileges appertaining.
The oath of allegiance follows.
I, Nnamdi Azikiwe, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. I, Nnamdi Azikiwe, do swear that I will well and truly serve Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, in the office of Governor General of the Federation of Nigeria. So help me God.
By this simple ceremony, Dr. Azikiwe takes his place as the honored successor of the many distinguished men who have held this high office. He is now His Excellency the Governor-General. But to the people of Nigeria, he will always be Zeke, the man who fought for freedom, the man who never deviated from the goal he had set himself, the peaceful achievement of independence.
Now, watch what the Queen said in one of her statements. The Queen said they feed on ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
I often draw strength from meeting ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Although we are capable of great acts of kindness, history teaches us that we sometimes need saving from ourselves, from our recklessness or our greed. But even in the unlikeliest of places, hope can still be found.
Okay, you might be confused with that statement because the statement is somehow ironical and confusing. Now, what's further? When she was counting all the credentials needed to execute such action, greed was one of them. Watch the video.
Ourselves, from our recklessness or our greed. But even in the unlikeliest of places, hope can still be found.
Now watch. To tell you that we are betrayed by even our own people. Watch Nadia Azikiwe's statement. He said we should forget about the pain of our fathers. Forget about which pain. Watch and first. Just watch.
I appeal to all our leaders, far and near, to forget the wounds which were inflicted in cause of our internecine altercations. The love of our country should outweigh the love of our petty selves. The enjoyment of freedom under the law should mean more to us than our self-centered party programs and manifestos. Common dangers and common enemies alert us on the need for common security. The British came here in 1851, and found us hopelessly divided in tribal compartments. When Britain transferred power to us on 1st October 1960, we were no longer an expression of geography, but a reality of history. During all our years of political vassalage, we became socially and economically integrated. We have also developed an identity of interest, and we have crystallized common nationality. The process of political integration reached its zenith at midnight on 30th September 1960, when we lastly sang our national anthem and our national flag was hoisted aloft to signal the birth of a new nation. Come and join Abubakar with me, Sadauna, Awolowo, Akitola, Osarebe, Okpara, Ikoku, Aminu Kano, Ibrahim Imam, and Taka. Let us bind the nation's wound and let us heal the breaches of the past, so that in forging our nation, there shall emerge on this continent a hate-free, fear-free, and greed-free people who shall be in the vanguard of a world task force whose assignment is not only to revive the stature of man in Africa, but to restore the dignity of man in the world. The independence of Nigeria was doggedly fought and dearly won. During our protracted battles, some of our heroes and heroines fell by the wayside. Some went the way of all flesh. Some paid with their lives. Some were incarcerated. Some lost their jobs. Some sacrificed their fortunes. Some were ostracized, while some were victimized and made to suffer indignity because they dared to demand freedom for Nigeria in our lifetime. Therefore, we must jealously guard our freedom with our lives if need be. I have made up my mind to do all that lies in my power, so that our newly won freedom shall endure. All that remains for us to do now is for our leaders and their followers to demonstrate that spiritual resilience which had enabled us to survive the onslaught of the past. With faith in the eventual success of our adventure in the Committee of Nations, we can look forward to the morrow with hope and charity for our fellow man, knowing that the task has been well done and that prospects of a future are bright.
So we should forget about the pain. Do you know what he's talking about? All those are fathers that was used for slavery. Their mouth was being padlocked and used for farm purpose. When our fathers wants to make a rival against the British, what's it called, the British harsh treatments towards them. Check what they do. They will give them, the British will give them harsh treatments. Go to Calabar, all those Calabar area, and see those equipment that was used in punishing of our fathers, our ancestors in those days. They are still kept there over centuries now. They are still preserved and kept there for tourism. In most cases, they might even throw some into the sea to drown and die. Shoot some to death. Put a rod on the waist of some, or a yoke on the neck of some. Cast them into the sea to die. Beat some to death. Deceive our fathers that they are from higher gods and the black are from a lower gods. So the black are slave and the white owns sovereignty and authority. To the point whereby our fathers will carry them on their shoulders to move like kings. They are living the third ground. That kind of thing. Now you say we forget. Now there's you are a betrayer. You are a betrayer. Yes, you are a betrayer. Now, if you say we forget those things, the British themselves, have they forgotten us? To say, okay, these people too, we know we did bad things to their fathers. Let us forget about them. Let them go through themselves. We will come one hand for their matter, so that they themselves to go still forgive us. You are telling us to forgive and forget, but they themselves, their yoke is still hanging on our neck. So who is the fool?
In 1767, a massacre occurred when 6 British slave ship crews intervened in a dispute between rulers of 2 competing slaving centers, Old Town and New Town, Dukestown, resulting in 400 deaths. Akwa AKPA, Dukestown, became a center for the slave trade, where slaves were exchanged for European goods. Public petitions against the slave trade led to a British House of Commons hearing on the 1767 massacre in 1790. The British banned the slave trade in 1807 and actively worked to suppress it. Between 1807 and 1860, the West Africa Squadron seized about 1,600 ships involved in the slave trade. In 1815, HMS Comas was the first warship to sail up the Calabar River to Akwa AKPA, capturing 7 Portuguese and Spanish slave ships carrying 550 slaves. On January 6, 1829, the brig Jewel was captured by HM Eden at the mouth of the Old Calabar River with 220 slaves on board. On February 26, 1829, the Hirondelle was captured by the Eden within the river's entrance with 112 slaves on board. On January 5, 1835, boats from HMS Paloris captured the Spanish Palaca bark Minerva, which had 650 slaves aboard. The suppression of the slave trade in the 1850s led to palm oil and palm kernels becoming the main exports of the river. The chiefs of Akwa AKPA placed themselves under British protection in 1884. From 1884 until 1906, Old Calabar was the headquarters of the Niger Coast Protectorate, after which Lagos became the main center.
Calabar's dark past. The era of the slave ships. Welcome to African Story Haven channel. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
The history of the Calabar Kingdom, located in present-day Cross River State, Nigeria, is a fascinating yet harrowing tale deeply intertwined with the transatlantic slave trade. The Calabar Kingdom, primarily ruled by the Efik people, played a prominent role as a major port in the transatlantic slave trade during the 17th to 19th centuries. Its strategic location along the Cross River and proximity to the Atlantic Ocean made Calabar a significant hub for trade, cultural exchanges, and unfortunately, human trafficking. The Calabar Kingdom's prominence began long before the advent of European traders. The Efik people, originally a subgroup of the Ibabio, migrated from Arachuku in present-day Abia State to the Cross River region, settling along its banks. By the 16th century, they had established themselves as skilled traders and fishermen. The Efik people leveraged their strategic position along the river to dominate trade routes, dealing in goods like salt, fish, and agricultural produce with neighboring groups. When Europeans, primarily the Portuguese, Dutch, and later the British, arrived on the West African coast in the late 15th century, they sought valuable commodities, especially slaves. Calabar's established trade networks and its port accessibility made it an attractive destination. By the 17th century, Calabar had become one of the largest slave trading ports in West Africa. The Efik middlemen played a central role in the trade, acting as intermediaries between inland communities and European traders. Enslaved people were brought from the hinterlands, captured in wars, raids, or through kidnappings, and transported to Calabar to be sold to European slavers. The Efik developed a complex trading system. They were known for their business acumen, negotiating deals with European traders in exchange for guns, textiles, mirrors, and alcohol. The Efik chiefs, particularly from influential houses like Henshaw House and Duke House, were the primary negotiators. European ships docked at Calabar, where they loaded enslaved people for transport across the Atlantic. The trade was brutal, with enslaved individuals packed into ships under horrific conditions. Many perished during the Middle Passage, the transatlantic journey to the Americas. The X Society, a powerful secret society among the Efik, played a regulatory role in the trade. They ensured adherence to agreements and often acted as enforcers in disputes. The X Society was also central to maintaining social order and preserving Efik traditions amidst increasing external influences. The slave trade brought an influx of foreign goods to Calabar. In exchange for enslaved people, European traders introduced commodities like firearms, used by local leaders to conduct more raids for captives; alcohol, particularly rum, which became a symbol of wealth and status among Efik elites; textiles and beads, adorned by the Efik people as markers of prestige; metal goods, such as pots, pans, and mirrors, which became household staples. These goods profoundly influenced Efik society, contributing to material wealth but also fostering dependency on the European trade system. The interaction between the Efik and Europeans was not limited to trade. It also brought about significant cultural exchanges. The Efik developed Pidgin English, a lingua franca used to communicate with European traders. This language persists in modern-day Nigeria as a key part of its cultural identity. Christianity. European missionaries introduced Christianity to Calabar, leading to a gradual decline in traditional spiritual practices. By the 19th century, Christianity had taken root, with prominent Efik leaders converting and supporting missionary efforts. While the Efik people benefited economically, the slave trade's human cost was devastating. Families were torn apart, communities decimated, and countless lives lost. The trade also caused social tensions within the Efik community, as some chiefs resisted participation while others became deeply entrenched in the system. By the early 19th century, the abolitionist movement gained momentum in Europe. Britain outlawed the transatlantic slave trade in 1807, and the Royal Navy began patrolling the West African coast to intercept slave ships. Calabar's economy, heavily reliant on the slave trade, faced significant disruptions.
Are we born for slavery? Are we born to be slave forever? Even if the Bible made that history on us about this Noah children, when Noah got drunk and slept off, and the one that came to look at his nakedness and laughed at him was actually the father of Africans, the one that gave birth to Republic Africans. Okay, and I agree with you. I agree all those traits. Although I don't want to go deep into those ones. I agree all those traits. But even Esau, that Jacob stole his blessing and ran away. Jacob stole Esau's blessings and ran away, right? When the father blessed Esau again and said, "Don't worry, when you are tired, this yoke upon your neck, you will break it." Esau instantly got tired. Check the Bible. The Bible says Esau went in search of Jacob to do what? To kill him. Esau instantly got tired. And after many years, the day Esau and Jacob met, instead of Esau to bow down and greet Jacob as the elder one, which the curse was upon him, it was Jacob that bowed and greeted Esau. Okay, say it's a big Bible. Let us do Bible together. Let us do Bible together now. But I don't want to go into those ones for the now. Let us talk about this, our present day. How long will they suffer? Tinubu, how long? How long? Now people get Nigeria. They play the country up and down, up and down. They toast us left, right, up, down, left, right. Are you citizens? Nothing the most of my head. If not, if Nigeria should wake up, this war now war we will fight one day, because the only solution to Nigeria's problem is war. All this eloquent speaking, all this talk will not solve anything. It is hard time that those that should be praying should pray, and those that should deploy for war should go to war. As for me, I choose to pray and fight. I choose to carry the Bible at my right hand and my gun at my left hand. I choose that one. Because there are some people who be say for this country, if they don't see action, they don't go come out for your body. If they don't see action, they don't go come on hand for your body. You go they suffer, they go like that, you go they die. But until their major plan be say, may they just finish you. May they finish you with them. Even God said get action. When devil won't try nonsense, Baba God as merciful as say, show how we be. Satan guy for one place. You dey crazy? You know where? He give her 2 seconds. See, Christianity is not weakness. Carry Bible, they go church, not be weakness. That same Bible, open her, it is divided into 2. Open your Bible, the good and the bad. See, Bible divide into 2. When you close Bible now 1, when you open Bible now 2, the good and the bad. See, who need your good? Give her your good. Who need your bad? Give her your worst. Not be your bad. Give her your worst. You don't understand what we say, as you mount altar like this, you go guide into AK-47. Before the yes man said, go say one play comment. See, you don't plan loss. Now, because of the way we say they do this Christianity, let me get the serious finish. Let me get the serious finish. Even Moses, children of Israel, when they start Christianity, all those years to call almost the father Abraham. Okay, the Bible says some people came into the land, they war, they capture Abraham's brother, Lot, they carry and go. The Bible says, when Abraham here, go read the Bible very well. Abraham armed himself. Abraham carries sword. Abraham go war. Abraham cut people head. He released the brother. Then are the father of Christianity. Our papa, what our papa do? Then you don't reach your tongue. You do say, yeah, my brother. See, Even Piro, they carry dagger, they waka. Jesus Christ, they are aware. He leave them because he knows they go use them. And when Piro use the thing, cut person ear one day, Jesus talk like to him. He said, keep the sword. In other words, you will still use it. You don't need that now because now it's my destiny time, for my destiny to be fulfilled. So keep it. You go need that later. You dey hear so? Make I bring Bible come you dey see am. Now the same God where he tell you say be merciful, now he tell Joshua, Moses, and all those our father. Now he tell them make they go war, make they go cut people for the land of Canaan, make they reach the land take. You dey hear so? Make they cut people where they reach the land take. Now he tell them say enter that land there. All those Philistines ones for them, wanna butcher them. You dey hear so? All those Amorites wanna butcher them. Now say God now he tell that thing. You dey hear so? The centurion soldier what Jesus Christ pray for, Jesus Christ not make you repent. After I pray for him, he not gonna make you repent. He still live and make you go retain the position as a soldier. In other words, when anybody come say one could try your nation, one could try you, show how you be. Now all this one they kill on now, they carry casket, they go bury. They kill now in tens and in thousands. When they count dead body, but they count one fool and need dead body. Now lie, see any fool in a cast, burn instantly. When they bring that rubbish, they come. Now my Christianity you do. You know wise? They make they kill you. Maybe they can't casket, they can't grave. Maybe they said they can't, they use it, they can't cause. Oh God, this country that refer be say they will need to call for war. To tell you say these people they know what they do. They can't tell us say we will call join soldiers, say it is mandatory for we citizens, the younger generation to come and join, or is it not from 21 years old or 17 years old. Now Buhari first started that thing. Buhari when he take collect power for Golodona and that first time. Now first they bring that kind of rubbish come. Say 17 years old to join the army. Now people say they don't want to kill the worker. On until they join the army. So they call join army. Now they don't talk if they come again say it is mandatory. Now system where they want to kill on that they find. Since the thing not work, now I make the see because watch. Look the metric for you. If when I go join that soldier by that time, they go they give on a gun, till they go bush, go wage war with Boko Haram. But their children, go to United Kingdom. They study for University of Edinburgh, University of East London, University of Manchester, University of one thing. Their children go they study, come back to the country, come become president again, take off from their father. But former Peking go they bush, they wage war with Boko Haram. Former Peking go they die every day. If you say you want to make citizens join army, make it mandatory, we not agree with you. We agree. But those your children where they are outside country, most of that Tinubu people were there for France, all of them they come. No organ for the army, no boy for the army. If now E1, all of us want to start that recruitment, all of us go start as E1, all of us go start as private. Tinubu picking go there, Buhari picking go there, Shagari picking go there, Nadazikiwe picking go there, all the president, all the leaders, and all the governor, their children go there. As they give you the AK-47, they give my own, they give you all of us, because all of us get the country together, all of us will go to war, go fight. Nobody promise people go war, go fight for una. Una go raise my children. Okay, how much the person where you kidnap, in not tell your family background, who you kidnap, na garri and granite they soak, but you try make it go bring 50 million naira come. But you leave politician picking where be say go see like $2 billion give you. Which work? Sheikh Tinubu they work for this country where it's worth over billions of naira and dollars. Which work Sheikh Tinubu they work? Una leave that one. Where go see the 50 million give you una go kidnap Proma Pikin. Where be say na garri and granite and kanye the breakfast. You never see 100 naira take buy sugar 15 naira granite 15 naira take shop to belle. When I go kidnap that one, make it be 15 million come aside. Tinubu, if they find money where you to do election, since tax reform not work for you, so that they kidnap people, children, they collect ransom, they share money with bandits. Now that system you want use for us, Make una dey continue to turn the country upside down. One day, where war go burst. Well, I not get what I want to talk, sha. But one day, the only thing why I know be say monkey go market, e no go come back again. Now the only thing why I get to talk for this place, because this country don't tire myself. Don't worry, God.